Welcome back. Now to foreign news. The leader of the military junta in Niger Republic, General Abdurrahmane Tichani, has pledged that none of the three Sahel countries will seek readmission to the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. He also affirmed that the junta will never release the deposed President Mohamed Bazoum, who was taken hostage following the July 26, 2023 coup in the country. On January 27, 2024, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger announced their plans to withdraw from membership in the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, despite repeated efforts at reconciliation. Following their withdrawal, the foreign ministers of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger recommended the creation of a confederation as part of the long-term goal of uniting the West African neighbors within a federation. General Tichani reiterated his commitment to this stance during an interview he gave to newsmen in the capital city of Niamey. Speaking further, he stated that the country is not worried about the consequences that may arise in terms of security, trade, and socio-economic activities following their withdrawal from ECOWAS. You're still watching Biscon TV News. Coming up next is sports news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now to the world of sports. The Super Eagles have arrived in the Federal Capital Territory following the second-place finish at the just concluded African Cup of Nations final in Côte d'Ivoire. The team was led by the Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Eno, and the NFF President, Ibrahim Musa Gusau. Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu hosted the Nigeria's national football team, Super Eagles, at the council chambers of the State House. In the reception party, President Tinubu conferred the national honor of Member of the Order of the Niger, MON, on every member of the Super Eagles that participated at the just concluded AFCON. This meeting on Tuesday follows closely on the heels of their recent match against host nation Côte d'Ivoire in the 2024 Africa Cup of Nations finals, where they fell short in the bid to win the trophy. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll bring you entertainment news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Now to entertainment news. The wife of Nigerian singer Portable, Omobewaji Ewatomi Oluwafermi, has reacted to allegations of domestic violence against her husband. In the late hours of yesterday, some photos of Bewaji were shared by a controversial blogger, Just Lover, where it was seen how Bewaji has been beaten to a pulp. Aside from the photos of her battered body, some screenshots were also shared online where Bewaji was accusing Portable of beating her up. However, a few hours after the screenshots and photos of her battered body went viral, Bewaji took to Instagram Live to question the source of information about Portable beating her up. She denied being beaten by Portable and also stated that people want to ruin her husband's career and reputation. She challenged Just Lover to post a video where she was being beaten as alleged, and also emphasized that she owes no one explanation. And that's the news for now on Biscon Television, compiled and produced by Olakweju Ajidagba. Now, the last line. The key to success is to focus our mind on things we desire, not things we fear. I'm Stella Opara. Thank you for staying with us.
and welcome to Newspaper Review. Today I am Olapeju Ajidab and I'm here in the studio with
Adebisi Edegule.
And together we'll be reviewing the newspapers, and I'll begin with the first newspaper here, which is Nigerian Tribune. For the first story here, our CBN released $6.2 million to pay election observers, the bank director narrates in court. Enough of killings, declares state of emergency on security. NUT tells Tinubu, says insecurity forced many teachers off the schools. Cost of living. Nigeria almost becoming Venezuela. PDP governors want Tinubu to initiate hardship ending measures, insist on state police to end insecurity. Wigwe. Nigeria collaborates with US to investigate helicopter crash. Collect 6 billion naira Mambila power fraud. Agoloye queries EFCC's power to prosecute him. Kidnapping worsening at Ondo, Edo, Kogi borders. Ondo Amotekun commander says. Emir of Kano to Tinubu's wife. Tell President to Nigerians are hungry. Wants him to speak on CBN, fan relocation to Lagos. That's the last story here for Nigerian Tribune.
And for the Vanguard newspaper today, I begin with the first headline. Energy crisis. Nigeria's electricity generation dropped 17.8% to 4,015 megawatts, and that's on page 40. Kidnappers from Ekiti, Edo, Kogi invading Ondo, says Amotekun, and that's on page 10. Edo Gubaro. ESCO's members won't participate in LP's indirect primary, says chairman. APC elects 960 delegates for February 17th direct primary. That's on page 13. Why federal government should consider 1 million naira as minimum wage, says NLC. That's on page 8. Buhari's reckless policies triggered current hardship. That's according to Sanusi and Oshomole. Previous administration adamant about our appeal for corrective measures, not willing to take advice, says Sanusi. I lamented loudly what I saw as reckless policies designed to dehumanize the population. That's according to Oshomole. And the last writer says Buhari's aides keep mum, and that's on page 5. Crisis hits Labour Party. Treasurers ask chairman to account for 3.5 billion naira, and that's on page 9. African Creators Summit. We plan to promote creative economy, says Adewumi convener, and that's on page 26. Emir of Kano to First Lady. Tell your husband Nigerians are suffering, and that's on page 25. Economy. We are almost on the way to Venezuela, and that's according to PDP governors, and that's on page 9. Dakuku says it is not narrative of government officials, not the ingenuity of palace jesters that have kept the country calm in the past few weeks. With AFCON now over, it is time the government acted fast to relieve the tension in the land. If the AFCON has brought welcome distraction, its end could unleash a collective depression from the present crisis of hunger and poverty. That's according to Dakuku, and that's on page 15. Now to the world of sport. Goodbye Pesero. NFF insists his time is over. You can read the story on page 31. Now to the final story here today. Wigwe, Governor Abiodun, Dangote, Utomi, AIG Umukede. Others visit parents, Obaseki, Diri, Obereveri, Mon, and that's on page 48.
Now moving on to the next newspaper, which is The Nation. I'll begin with the first story here. We paid $6.2 million on Emefiele's directive, says CBN director. 10 years after $1 billion deposits, Enema yet to get aircraft. Fleeing kidnappers in Ekiti moved to Ondo, Amotekun claims. Labour Party treasurer seeks probe of misused party's 3.5 billion naira cash. No plan to tax online content creators, says FIRS. 4 killed in Plateau. Governors, NSA join forces to battle insecurity, food crisis. Panel raised on police reform. PDP governors OK state police. Access Bank workers. We will sustain Wigwe's legacies. Nigeria's oil production up by 177,000 bpd in January. Challenges over soon, First Lady assures Nigerians. Equities reopen with 101 billion naira gain. That's on page 8. That's the last and final story here for the nation.
Now to the Daily Sun newspaper, and I'll begin with the first headline. Gunmen kill cop. Three inmates in Imo prison spam settlement attack. 4 killed, 3 injured in fresh plateau attack, and that's on page 4. The Sun awards honorable, credible, says Ifekudu Omere, and that's on page 6. PDP governors tackle federal government over high cost of living. Laments falling naira, worsening insecurity, and that's on page 6. Kano Emerald to Tinubu's wife. Tell President hunger insecurity alarming, and that's on page 6. Alleged procurement fraud. EFCC opens case against Emefiele. You can read the story on page 5. How foreign airlines discriminate against Nigerian pilots, engineers. Minister NCAA DG Sean inquiry under FOI. You can read the story on pages 14 and 15 of the Daily Sun newspaper. Nurses protest new guidelines for certificate verification, and that's on page 26. Nigerians lose over 500 billion naira to Ponzi schemes as SEC clamps down on illicit investment platforms. That's on page 22. Now to the final story. Phase out electricity subsidy. IMF tells federal government. That's on page 25.
Now moving on to New Telegraph. E-payment, 51% surge in money supply boosts transactions to 76.32 trillion naira. FIRS, firms earning below 25 million naira profits not required to pay tax. You gave good account of yourselves. Abbas Ailes Eagles after AFCON loss. Herbert Wigwe, superstar banker who loved taking risk. Federal government to collaborate with US agency on Chopper crash probe. Kingsmen declare 14-day mourning. Current poor power supply beyond us. EEDC cries out. NUP not only legally recognized pensioners union in Nigeria. Edo Guber, battle for party structure rocks Labour Party. Port workers reject 50% slash in NPA revenue by federal government. Economic hardship. Nigeria on the road to Venezuela. PDP governors say they are working with APC-led federal government to bring down cost of living. Tell your husband about hunger, starvation in Nigeria. Others. Emir Bayero tells First Lady. Nigeria teetering on brink of unrest. Obi. Buhari's reckless policies responsible for hardship. Oshomole. Insecurity. Kidnappers fleeing Ekiti to Ondo and Motekun. Chinao security votes to local security operative. Monarch tells federal government. FCT police arrest 307 suspects. Professor Onyebadi to Tinubu. Restructure Nigeria now, don't wait for second term. African Airlines to airlift 98 million passengers in 2024. AFRAA. Somalia takes back airspace control from Kenya. National security. IGP orders clamp down on fake news peddlers while monitoring online platforms. NPF. Imo. Inmate escape as gunmen attack prison settlement. Senator's horn. Kill policeman, abduct prison officer. Police declare manhunt. Spikes in air pollution linked to suicide risk study. That's the last story for New Telegraph.
Now for the Punch newspaper, I'll begin with the first headline. Minimum wage. Private sectors, states fault Labour's push for 1 million naira. That's on page 2. 50th anniversary. Punchers begin training for the Belty match. That's on page 30. Outages. Federal government plans sanctions for non-performing discos. You can read the story on page 22. Big week. Federal government. US begin talks as officials test copters wreckage. NTSB relocates chopper's engine, rotor blades, Landing gears today. Nigeria to support US team. Abiodun, Dangote. Others visit Wigwe Ogunbanjo's families. Late Access Bank CEO Kingsman protest. And that's on page 21. IMF forecasts $8 billion fall in Nigeria's 2024 foreign reserves, and that's on page 24. Kidnappers killed our driver for talking. It is school worker, and that's on page 3. Now to the final story. NAFDAC insists on sachet alcohol ban. Hoodlums attack officials. That's on page 8, and that's the final story for the Punch newspaper today.
I'll be moving on to the next newspaper, which is The Guardian. I'll begin with the first story here. 113.8 million undocumented Nigerians raised out on population size. CBN informs court of $6.2 million released for 2023 report. Abduction. Father of slain Anambra lawyer slums dies. Alleged $6 billion fraud. You have no power to try me, ex-minister Agundoye tells EFCC. Reps flame ministry's inability to defend 75 billion naira COVID-19 expenditure. Wigwe. NSIB collaborates with US agency to probe crash. Import duty forex rate raised fourth time in February, now 1,444 per dollar. NLC pegs wage against naira depreciation. Made calls for urgent action against hardship, hunger. 10 years after verdict, women folk still awaits property inheritance rights in Southeast.
Moving on to the Daily Trust newspaper and the last newspaper for today. We have the Daily Trust newspaper, and I'll begin with the first headline. Federal government resolves January salary delay, loans workers patient, and that's on page 3. $6.2 million paid to 2023 election observers under Emefiele, and that's according to CBN official telling court, and that's on page 3. We won't return to ECOWAS, Niger junta leader vows, that's on page 6. There's hardship in the land, says Kano Emir. Things will get better, says president's wife. Nigeria almost becoming Venezuela, says PDP governors. Labour mauls 1 million naira as new minimum wage. Citizens suffering from Buhari's policies, says Oshomole, and that's on page 4. Now to the final story on the Daily Trust Impact today says petrol price hits 700 naira per litre in Sokoto, Maiduguri, others, and that's on page 16.
We've come to the end of newspaper review today. Many thanks for joining us.
Check.
And faith in our philosophy of industry, service and character. Our future for greatness and excellence is assured. And excellence is assured. And excellence is assured.
They don't need you, I tell you, they don't need you. Every adult, see here today, and elsewhere, was once a baby. Nelson Mandela was once a baby before he grew to become the first black president of the Republic of South Africa. Barack Obama was once a baby before he also grew to become the first black president of the United States of America. Our own Afe Babalola was also once a baby. Now he's an adult, practicing law for 60 years and still counting. Well, it was not always a bed of roses for him, as you will not find out in our play. His story is that of grass to break, willpower, hard work, ingenuity, and iconoclasm. Our story takes us way back to when Afe Babalola was a teenager at Olosi Ogunbiyi's courtyard. Ajayi, Mama Afe, Mama Dada, she's a very hardworking woman. She's very strong, agile, and also expert in many micro businesses. Atele oni de toni je o, atele oni de toni je, atele oni de toni je o, atele oni de toni je. Abare logun ẹrú, oníwọ pa ọkọ. Osoko tóbi tó bàbá rẹ̀, yèyé lọ́jà ní yèyé rẹ̀, atele oni de toni je. Ìyìn lélẹ̀ ìkúnlẹ̀ àdéhùrè fún wa bá tọ́jú lọ́gùn wá tẹ́tí kúrúkúdú. Àtẹ̀lẹ̀ òní ìdè ìtọ́ni jẹ́, àtẹ̀lẹ̀ òní ìdè ìtọ́ni jẹ́ o, àtẹ̀lẹ̀ òní ìdè ìtọ́ni jẹ́, àtẹ̀lẹ̀ òní ìdè ìtọ́ni jẹ́ o, àtẹ̀lẹ̀ òní ìdè ìtọ́ni jẹ́.
Welcome, sir.
Afe, my boy.
Welcome, sir.
Báwo ni?
Why, sir?
Are you the only one at home?
Yes, sir, I am.
Papa must be in the farm. But where is mother?
Sir, she went to the nearby farm. Get some things for tomorrow.
Oh, that's true. Tomorrow is market day. I am sure you made all this.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. I really love this. These are aesthetic craft work. It really shows you have an artistic talent in you.
And she, sir.
Ọmọ tó ní gudugudu méje yàyà mẹ́fà. I am proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
You know, with all this, you are sure to win glory that will amaze everyone. But wait a minute. I will propose to the headmaster, because of the great potential that you have seen in you, that you become different from craftsmaking.
Me? Yes, sir. I thank you for all you have been doing, sir.
You deserve it, my boy. You will not come. Just know I will surely be late with one of these. I actually want to use the expensive basket in my house. You can't be keeping my money else anyhow. You know?
Yes, sir.
You know.
When
But let's leave that aside. I have come to inform the parents and to also let you know that you should start study hard because you'll be representing our school in a provincial examination at Lokoja very soon.
Sir, look, I thank you for all you have been doing, sir. Sir, may God work for all your efforts.
Oh, don't worry, my boy. Your success is my pride. You know, you really deserve this. Study hard for the coming examination, okay?
I will.
My basket. And extend my greetings to Dad. Don't forget, carry life.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye, sir. Give me Lokoja. Your success is my pride, boy. Study hard for the coming exam because you're representing our school in the provincial examination at Lokoja.
We'll be able to move from this.
My children, I want to tell you a story. But before then, we're going to sing a song. When I sing, around, you respond by saying, in number, te, regute, in number. What did I say? That's good. Around, kí ló wá ṣe nílẹ̀ yìí o? Ẹ̀hún ni mo wá dá o. Èló lẹ mú rẹ o? Àgbẹ̀ kan ẹ bá yín. Bẹ́ẹ̀ mú sílẹ̀ kó máa lọ o. That's cool. Now, in those days, inhabitants of the heavens and planet Earth interacted with each other. Yes. As a matter of fact, this folk tale tells a story about a mystic palm wine tapper who is not visible to the client. Yes. He comes, taps, and sells palm wine to the people on planet Earth. Back then, way back then, buying and selling was purely on trust. You can come, keep your wares at the crossroads, come back later, and take your money. Yes, just like that. And that is why we say, around you, kí ló wá ṣe nílé yìí o? Ẹ̀mú ni mo wá dá o. Èló lẹ̀mú rẹ o. Abẹ́ kan ẹ̀ bá bẹ́ẹ̀ mú sílẹ̀ kó máa lọ o. That's good. Clap for yourself.
Mr. Ladelokun,
Yes, sir.
who is that young man?
He's my cousin from Adosa.
What is his work?
Well, he's currently looking for an employment. He was a teacher at Emmanuel School.
All right, call him in.
Yes, sir.
That's good, my children. You can go now. Bye. With mommy and daddy for me. Good afternoon, sir.
How are you, young man?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
Will you like to be a teacher here?
Yes, sir. I've been looking for a job for a long time, sir.
And you have found yourself a job.
Eh?
I said, you have found yourself a job.
Hey! Thank you so yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
Here, Inspector of Schools. I have found this young man and discovered that he is a born teacher. So, I want him.
Orí lórí rẹ̀ àwẹ̀ o. Orí lórí rẹ̀ o àwẹ̀. Orí lórí rẹ̀ àwẹ̀ o. Ọní máa wí àṣubú bòròbòrò rétérété. Orí lórí rẹ̀ àwẹ̀ o. Ọní máa wí àṣubú bòròbòrò rétérété. Orí lórí rẹ̀ àwẹ̀ o.
He prays most, who works hardest.
Full happiness can only be achieved when one makes others happy.
Time is life. Life is time. Time does not wait for anyone. Lost time is irretrievable.
It is not an offense under our laws to remain idle, but it is a sin to be in